Hey, what's up, fellas? A little bit later in the day, I just got a call from um, a single mom. She's a widow, trying to raise her son, and he's one of the students I spoke to last Friday at the high school that I was invited to speak at. But in the middle of my speaking arrangement, I was interrupted and asked unceremoniously to leave when I brought up the subject of the trades and how you don't have to go to college to make a really good living as a young man. And what I did is I use Bing or Microsoft Copilot to help me. Let me go shut off the dryer. Anyways, and I'll bring you back here and set you down. So I had all my information about like pipe fitting and HVAC and road work and infrastructure and welding and all that stuff, and how they're going to grow at 4+%, for the next 15 to 20 years. Just going on, and as soon as I started mentioning the words, you don't really have to go to college. There was a lady. Her name is she is a vice principal. Her name is Garcia, and she said that'll be enough of that. And I was like, that's kind of strange. And I took orders for a very long time when I was in the military, and I don't take orders from anybody anymore. And I made sure I have the financial resources so I don't have to take shit off of anybody. So, anyways, we go back and forth, and the last question I asked her, I said, "Why don't you? These kids are engineered to go to school, to go to college, so they can get a good job." So, I have a couple of videos I'm going to attach to this, plus some of the groundwork I did to Copilot, if Copilot will let me copy and paste it. But if Copilot won't, then I'll just list the jobs. Now we'll regress back to the woman who called me. Her son wants to get into the trade fields, and one of the things his uncle is doing that I personally could never do, it has to do with maintenance of windmills. And I don't know if it's wind energy electric technician or whatever it is, but they make good money, and evidently they're supposed to grow very much in the coming years for wind power. And they're also going to be jacking up the wind turbines higher up in the... Anyways, doesn't matter. So I spoke to her. I asked her to look into, just Google search the best paying trade jobs in the future that they have. The problem that we have now is so many people don't want to work with their hands outside. Everybody wants to be inside an air-conditioned office, making six figures, moving papers around. And that is absolutely not going to happen. And they have lied. And these kids, some of these kids, anyways, the way I worked it out with my math is that a guy, and I think I made him a entry-level plumber, and I gave him a 4.5-year head start on somebody who went to college. And he had in the bank, by the time I finished with my math, over $400,000 in the bank. And the college student had about $400,000 in debt. And I don't know how or why it became uncool or considered lowbrow, means it doesn't require a bunch of intelligence to be a carpenter or an electrician or a plumber or a truck driver, which is fucking insane. I know. I tell you what, I have seen guys who I consider master drivers, and I think maybe the MGTOW Cowboy might be one of these guys. Drive a truck. Have you ever seen one of those guys who just knows what they're doing? Have you ever seen them back a trailer up to a dock? It is, to me, almost artwork. or those dudes out on in the oil fields, especially if they're off the coast. How about a carpenter? How about a master? Anyways, it's bullshit. And these people really believe that they're elite because they sat in a fucking classroom and end up with soul-crushing debt for the rest of their lives. So anyways, I gave her the websites. I'll give you the same websites. But I also received an email from the Independent School District of El Paso that a formal complaint has been filed against me by the vice principal of blank, blank, blank high school. And that in the interim, I need to stay away from their campuses. And anyways, persona non grata for simply trying to tell young men and women to get into the trades instead of going to college. Evidently, there's some sort of deal they got going on where it's more profitable for the high school and the colleges and community colleges than the trade schools. So, whatever. Love you guys. Stay safe and healthy. Take care of each other if you can, and if you can't, you take care of yourself. Some of these entry-level trade jobs, after getting the basic knowledge, if you get with a guy who is a journeyman, good seasoned journeyman, God bless you. A lot of guys only get master level if they're going to open their own business. But if you open your own business, ta-da, you're there. Anyways, I don't look down on blue-collar guys. Blue-collar guys are the guys I like to talk to. Blue-collar guys are the guys that you want to be in. If you're going to get into a fight, you want a handful of those guys with you. You don't want a bunch of guys who's working in an office doing this all day, talking about esoteric. Let me just stop. Love you guys. Stay safe and healthy. If you're a young man and you're reading this, I want you to Google the best paying trades. And then I want you to find out the hourly rate for that job, times it times 40 per week, times that times 4, then times that times 12. So you get an average gist. All right? And then I want you to times that number by 4.5 or 5. That's your financial advantage instead of going to college. All right? Like a Ford and a G-string. West Texas, El Paso. I'm out of here. I'm going to do this something about a shout out to the trades or how the trades, in my opinion, pay off. All right? Like a Ford and a G-string. I'm going to use my radio voice. From West Texas, El Paso. Like a Ford and a G-string. I'm out of here. That's this guy. Bye-bye.